So the investment dominator is built with a couple process flows in mind. One of them being, once you import the county list, you generate your documents, send out your letters, and then the people that call you back, you mark as pending preliminary research. You do your research, and in this research stage, you are actually filling in the information that is blank. So the information that you don't know about the property. You're going to get a lot of this information from the owner when they call in, most of the time. And then you're going to verify that with the county and through the research steps that Jack defines in his course. And as you fill in this information, you're not only doing your research on the property to make an offer, but you're also building your listing. But if you would just like to post a listing on your website, if we go over to the selling site, you can see here I have a blank selling site. There's no properties listed. If I want to create a listing real quick and kind of on the fly here, there's two minimum pieces of information that I need. First off, I need to make sure that the property record is in the complete ready to sell status, and I am under the land section, as you can see here. So this is applies to land only. There's a different status when it comes to houses, and I'll show you that in a minute. But for land, you want to make sure that you're in the complete ready to sell status. And then the other minimum field that you need to fill in is down here where it says property listing. There's a whole section on it, like listing headline and things like that. All these are not actually required. Obviously, when you fill them in, this makes your listing a lot better. So what is required, though, is a sale price. So let's just enter in a sale price of $8,000, for example. And I'm going to go ahead and just save those two bits of information, the status of the record as being complete and the sale price. So when I click Update Record, it's going to save the record. And you can see here that right off the bat, it creates an ad and a listing. So if I go to my website here, and I'm going to do a refresh, you can see that there's a placeholder for a listing now. There's no title for it, there's no picture, there's no description. All this information is just filled out with default information. We do have the county because that was uploaded with our file. But all of this other stuff doesn't really make sense yet. The other thing is, if you click the ad, this is kind of like your Craigslist ad. There is a placeholder of stuff here, but it's not filled out. Only certain things that you have uploaded so far, like the APN number is in there because that came from your import file, and some of the other information, like the sales price that we just entered in, the property type obviously is filled in. So if we want to finish the listing, now keep in mind that the program is designed for you to fill this in as you go along so that you're not spending a whole lot of time doing it in one period of time. But if you had to just create a listing on the fly, you could by just coming in here and filling out the property information sections. And for example, we want to know how many acres the property is. That's going to be put on the listing. The city that the property is in, let's just say it's Rimrock. Let's say that the state it's located in is in Arizona, and 86335. So we have all this information, and we just fill in all the information that we know about the property. Let's say it's in a valley, and there is the annual taxes on that is $150 a year. There's a $150 HOA fee, and the zoning is for single-family homes. And then the other thing we need to know is the property value that's on the listing. So what are the market values of this property? Let's say that the property is actually worth $10,000. The county assesses it at, let's say, $9,500, and it's got a cabin on the property and a fence, let's say. So you just want to fill all this out. Let's just say it's on an unpaved road. It's got power lines within a mile. And let's see here. This section right here where it says property listing, this is the other section where you can fill in the information. So what is the property headline? So you can just, let's just say, I'll just use one of these ones. Let's choose a headline. And let's just enter in a description. Actually, let me just copy a description from our Sunnyland site. If we have a link to a plat map like this, then we can paste that in here. This could also go to the county. Sometimes the counties host these plat maps. You can just point it over to the county if you like. Say the average temperature is 75 degrees. Again, our sale price, we already entered that in, $8,000. Let's just say that the listing agent is John, and the number to call is 555-555. Now this can be you. It doesn't have to be an agent. It can be you, or it can be somebody that picks up your phone. Now right here, I'm just going to go ahead and update the record just for now, just so you can see what has happened, what has changed in the listing. So we're going to go ahead and save it. All right, so right now, if I go ahead and refresh the page, you can see here the listing is starting to look like an actual listing. There's the acreage, there's the state that we filled out, there's the market value of $10,000, sale price is $8,000, you're saving $2,000. The picture's not there, but if we click view more, a lot of this information is already filled out. So it's already starting to look a little bit like a listing. So the next thing you want to do is add pictures to your listing. So what you want to do is scroll down to where it says upload your files. You click on that. You're going to find your files. So in this case, I have a bunch of pictures. I got some PDFs. They're just sample stuff. I'm going to go ahead and hold down my shift key on my keyboard, and then I'm going to select the first one and then the last one, and that selects all these pictures at the same time. You can also hold down the control key on your keyboard and just select the ones that you want like that. But if you want them all, then just hold down shift, click the first one, and then click the last one in that group. You'll select all of your files, and then you're going to click open, and you're going to see all your files here. Now you can name your files right here if you want, but since I don't see a preview of the images, I'm just going to leave this blank for now, and that's going to be perfectly fine. I'm just going to hit start upload, and you can see here it's uploading the images. And once they upload, I can go in here now and title them. So this just can be view from the property, let's say, and then I'm going to click this little check mark, and that sets that as the title of that image. This one is the property, and this is hunting in the area. And this one's aerial shot. And then, let's see, river nearby. I'm just going to leave this untitled. You can do that as well. Let's just do that. So we're just giving like a caption to our images here. Now you can choose which one that you want to show up as the featured image. You see this little button right here, it says featured. And let me just explain that a little bit. On your listing, you can see here that there's a thumbnail that's blank right now. This is going to be your featured image. It's also your featured image is going to be the first image that appears when you click on the property details page. So let me just make the hunting picture the featured image. So I'm going to click that. Now, one other setting is for it to show up on the website, you have to select public, because we do have the option for you not to make it public. For example, I'm going to make all of these pictures public, meaning they all show up on the website except for this one with no title. This one with no title, I'm just going to leave. It's going to be stored in the CRM, so I could use it later on, but for now I'm going to leave it out. So I selected them all. I selected one to be the featured image. And the same thing with the attachment files. You can name them. So let's just pretend this one is an affidavit file, and then we're going to make that public. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And once I save that, I'm going to go to the front end of the site here and refresh. And you can see that my thumbnail image of the elk is set. And if I click View Details, it starts with the second image here, third image, fourth image, the deer image. So you got here, and then but you can notice that the one that we made private is not here. So let's just take this golf course picture out, for example. If I wanted to take that out, I would just come down here and make the golf course picture. I would unselect public, and when I do that and I refresh, you can see here that that picture no longer exists. So that's kind of how you control the pictures. And you can see also here that there's an attachment. If you click on that, here's my sample file that I had uploaded. Now if I wanted to hide that, again, all I have to do is come down here and uncheck that and come back to the site, and I list that there is no attachments. For now I'm going to keep that in there. And the other thing is, you'll notice that there is no map yet on the property, and that's because I don't have a valid address for the property set. So I'm going to take the GPS coordinates of this, which is right here, copy that, and I'm going to put that under the property details section, which is up here. So you can either put an address or you can put the longitude and latitude of the property. And I'm going to click Update Record. Now if I come to my listing, I should have a map that works. Now you can see here that there's, when I copied and pasted, I actually copied and pasted an invalid character. So it doesn't generate it. So to fix that, we'll just go back in here and fix this up a little bit. So here's the invalid character right there. One way you can get the actual proper characters is to go to the Google Maps, and then we want to click on this, and you can see down at the bottom here they give you actually another slightly different set of numbers. I mean, it's the same set of numbers, it's just formatted a little bit differently. Doesn't have the degree symbol in there, and that's what we want. So if we come back here to our file, we're going to put that in there without the degree symbol, and I'm going to update that. Now you can see here that we have directions embedded into or a map to the property embedded right into the listing. So this is basically how you create your ad. Now, like I said in the beginning, you're actually going to be doing this as you do your research. So by the time that you get to the stage where you're listing your property, you should have 95% of the information already filled out anyways. This is just showing you how you can speed up the process. So again, just to kind of recap, in order to generate the ad and the listing, you need to have at least your property in the right status, which for land is the complete ready to sell. And then you also have to have the sale price field under property listing section filled out with your sale price. That's the minimum bits of information that you need to generate this ad. Everything else you want to fill in, and you should be filling in as you're doing your research anyways. But the minimum pieces are those two fields. Now for houses, it's pretty similar. The only difference is for a house, you need to have it under the open escrow option, and then you also have to have a sale price here. So let's just say that this house we're going to be selling for $200,000. Update that. You can see once I'm under open escrow, it will now generate me that listing. If I go to the website here, you can see I have a house listing here. It has no information because, again, I haven't filled it out yet, haven't uploaded my pictures yet for this. But for houses, you need to be in this open escrow. You can actually be under anything below this as well. So you can be in the open escrow, found buyer, transaction complete, and it will still generate that listing for you. So that's how you create listings on your website.